Welcome back to another Runes of Magic video. This time we're going to be concentrating on crafting, or the basics of crafting. So basically when you finish the tutorial for the very beginning of the game, you get dumped here in a place called Pioneer's Colony in front of this guide. And on the map you'll see it's down here at the bottom left. You'll eventually make your way up north to a place called Logar. If you've been watching any of my other videos, you'll know that Logar is the first time you'll come across an auction house, your mailbox, and most importantly your housekeeper. But for now we're down here at the Pioneers Colony. So this guide person will have a quest for you which will send you off into the town here, and those quests will start having you kill things around the outlying area. Before you do that though, my recommendation is to actually train up and learn some gathering skills, and I'll explain why in a minute. The first thing you need to do is understand how it's broken down in Runes of Magic. So if you want, you can hit your C key to bring up the character sheet, and down the side here are a bunch of tabs. One of them is crafting. You can also do that, get directly at it by just hitting the Y key. And basically Runes of Magic is divided up into two sorts of crafting, if you like. One's gathering and the other is production. Now we won't be concerning ourselves too much with production today, we'll do that in another video. Today we're going to be focusing on gathering, and much like any other game, gathering in Runes of Magic is split up into three: mining, woodcutting, and herbalism. So you know, that's you're going to start mining rocks to get ore, you're going to start chopping trees to get wood, and you're going to start picking plants to get herbs. Now, once you've learnt them, your screen won't look quite like this. I've been gathering for a while, so I'm a level 12, 11, and 11. But basically, you'll have three empty bars. And the way it works is that every time you gather a resource from a node, this bar will start to creep up as a percentage, and obviously once it gets to the end, it'll roll over, go back to the beginning, and you'll level up to level 2 and level 3, etc, etc, etc. And the reason for that is that later on in the game, so as you start heading north and getting into higher level areas, some of the crafting, or rather gathering nodes that are available here will start to be level 8. In other words, you won't actually be able to gather them unless you're level 8. So hence why I'm highly recommend that before you start doing all the quests around here, you train your gathering skills so that by the time you get up into the other level zones, you are actually of a high enough gathering level to be able to take those things. So rather than go straight ahead to the village, hop over here to the right, to the west, and see where is he? There he is, mining instructor, Hanson, there he goes. So when you talk to him, I don't have it, but he will have an option there which says, please can you teach me mining? And you just go click that. It doesn't cost any money. There's no restrictions on that, so there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't get that straight away. Around the corner here, we'll come across the Herbalism instructor, Alice. There she is, same deal. Ask her to teach you Herbalism. And then finally over here, you'll come across this fine young chap called Woody Woods. Right, and same deal, can you please teach me wood gathering or wood crafting? And there you go, that's it. That's all there is to it. If you then hit your Y key, you'll notice that you've got these three in there. Right, now to go about finding some nodes to gather from. How do you do that? Well, again, if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that Runes of Magic is really good. On the mini-map, it actually highlights any gathering nodes that are available. In this case, I can see there's some ash wood. I can also see it visually. There it is out in the distance. It looks like a tree stump. It's also sparkling. And if you've got PB info, which I also talk about in some of my other videos, you'll just know from hovering over it, because it says, hey, that's ash wood. It requires a wood cutting skill of 1. And in my case, it's telling me there I'm level 11, so I'm going to have absolutely no problems in gathering some wood. Now, unlike other games, Runes of Magic doesn't necessitate that you carry around in your backpack any, for example, wood cutting axes or anything. Also, I don't have to equip anything on my character sheet here. All I've got equipped at the moment is my wand for my priest mage. So all I do is simply right click on that, and magically out of nowhere I'm suddenly, as you can see there, suddenly wielding a wood chopping axe. And there we go, I've gathered some ash wood. I'll do that again, watch down the bottom right here, you'll see it actually go into my backpack, and there it goes. So and the nodes disappeared. Now, by the way, that's random. Sometimes nodes have, you know, two pieces of wood. Sometimes they have 10. It just really depends. But if we open the backpack and have a look, there it is. I've got some ash wood there. So these are the, you know, raw materials, if you like. Let's go see if we can find some herbs and some mining nodes to mine from. Here we go. I can see some zinc ore on the map, and if you can see it on the screen, there's a big rock, sparkly rock up ahead of me, and it's telling me on my tooltip it's zinc ore. I need mining level of 1. I've got 12, so away we go. Also, the cursor's turned to a pickaxe. Once again, don't need any tools. I just right click on it, and there we go. I've got a magically appearing mining axe, and I'm going to grab some zinc ore. And again, you can see it go into your backpack down here. There it is. Look in the backpack, and it's that orange stuff. Alright. Now, like I said before, the quests in the village are actually going to send you out here, you know, killing these little mushroom guys and getting wolves and all sorts of things. While you're out here, you know, you might as well be gathering things, to the way I feel about it, because then you can just get started on this crafting and start leveling it, or especially the gathering, straight away. So we'll just see if we can quickly find some herbs. Now, herbs are harder to spot visually because, of course, the world is made up of, you know, little plants like this. But on my mini-map, there we go, I can see some demon mountain grass. And also, you probably won't be able to see it on the video, but it's also sparkling. There it is, mountain demon grass. Again, level 1 resource, so I can get that. And my tooltip is actually changing to a couple of mushrooms. So once again, I just right click on that, and you'll see it go into my bag down here. There we go. Do that again. You'll probably notice that the character animation is remarkably similar to another cartoony MMO that's out there, but anyway, enough said about that. Okay, so in the backpack, we now have some mountain demon grass as well. So, all right, there we go. That's how you learn gathering skills and how you actually gather and how you find them. But that's all very well and good. What do you do with it then? Well, good question. So there's a couple of things you can do. For a start, if you hover over it, you'll notice that it's worth 2 gold a pop. So, you know, I've got 62 zinc ore there. If I go to any game vendor, so it can be, here's a weapon merchant, for example, and say, hey, show us what you've got. I could sell that right now. There's 60 odd of them for 2 gold, so that means I'm instantly going to get 120 gold. So, you know, it's a very quick way of making money. If you don't want to sell it to a vendor, the other thing to do is to wait till you get up here to Logar and make sure you get to the auction house and put all of these raw materials on the auction house, because there's a lot of players who are either too lazy or can't be bothered actually gathering their own materials. So, you know, these materials are all going to be needed for crafting. They just want to be able to buy them. They've got the money or got the in-game gold, whatever. You can make a very pretty penny by just putting those raw things on the auction house. But let's say we do want to actually start turning these into something useful. And we'll just very quickly show you this because we're running out of time. What you need to do is find your way to a crafting station. Now, they're the items in the game that have these great big green arrows and an icon. And if you can't read that, it says carpentry tools. There was also, I'm sorry, I'll get rid of the bags. Over here near Alice, there's another one. And in this case, it's alchemy tools. And alchemy is where I'd actually you know, extract stuff from the plants that I've gathered. But let's go to the wood crafting one. So I have to be near a crafting table, basically, or else I can't craft. Now, there's crafting areas here and in every major town and city. When you learnt the gathering skills from your instructor, you also got given some other skills. If you bring up your K, your skill window, you'll notice you got 3 new skills there: smelting, carpentry, and extraction. Now, you can just drag them straight to your toolbar. And if you bring them up, in this case carpentry, because we're dealing with wood, you'll end up seeing a list. There won't be as many there for you as you start, but you'll have something called ash timber. And basically, ash timber is something it's a green. You'll see there it's got a green color for its name. Ash timber is a resource that's able to be used in other crafting. So it's saying I can take 2 ash wood, which is what I've been gathering, and make 1 ash timber. All I do, hit the craft button, and I'm making some ash timber that I can use later on. There we go.